what time it is.
How it all works.
Come on.
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 Well. You know, we don't have to wait for the full countdown clock to finish. I mean, we do.
the song finished, it was time to go live, right? What's good, family? We had a week off, and even though we didn't have the live show, it was not a week off for me. It was a strategic break in the schedule, a strategic break in our lineup to kind of retool and get some things situated. I hope you are seeing the fruits of the labor around me. For those that don't know, this is a new space. This is the first time I'm broadcasting from this space. It's so good. Let me just say this as we start out. It's so good to have a family that supports and understands your vision. So I want to take a second to say a shout out to Kanique, that's my wife, to Carson, that's my son, to Kenzie, it's my daughter, for putting up with me and giving me this additional space in the home to be able to broadcast from. Man, I just cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. And we've just been blessed. The doors that God has been opening for us, for How It All Works, for the channel, and for this platform, for this community that we've been building, man, it's just been amazing to really see. So if you like what you see, let me know in the comments, y'all. Listen, I said this to Katie while we were backstage. This is a match made in heaven. This is a match made in heaven. You gotta have both. You can't just have the Ecamm mug and not the How It All Works mug. So head over to the How It All Works merch page, howitallworks.com/shop. Go there now. Go get your mug. All right, go get your mug. But man, listen, we've got a serious lineup of conversations and collaborations ready for you this month. The month of April is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. You don't believe me? Why would you not believe me? Here's our flyer, man. Here's our flyer. Convos and Collabs. Today, of course, we've got Katie Fawkes, and she's already ready to go, already dropping nuggets of wisdom and value. I'm excited to have her on today. Then we're going to have Desiree Martinez. I'm excited to have her on. She just did a video of how to do some stuff with Yellow Duck and Instagram. Really cool stuff. Check her out on YouTube as well. Then we've got the maestro himself, Walter Jeanette. I'm so excited to have him on. And that kind of rounds out our month of April. But you see that we do have Monty Weaver, India Delgado, and Keith Pelzer on in May. So you want to be sure you keep it locked this entire month. It's going to be amazing. I always ask my guests to give me a quote. And so today's quote from Katie was, planning your production and creating workflows can save you time and help you build a better broadcast. And we're going to dive into that in just a second here. Next week, Desiree's quote, take action now and stop doing stuff you hate. I'm just going to substitute that word for stuff. But listen, take action now and stop doing stuff you hate. Listen, that's as good as it gets. Don't complain about it. Be about it, right? And then here's a quote from Walter Jeanette. I'm not new to this. You're just new to me. I love that. I love that. I constantly teach people. If you've been around the channel for any time, any portion of time, you know that I'm constantly telling folks that you are the brand. You are the brand. And his statement resonates so much with me because I've been doing this live stream thing for the better part of 15 years, maybe. It's been a while. So the channel may be new. This community might be new, but what we bring to the table in terms of the expertise, the knowledge, the years of experience, it is not new. So I love this quote from Walter Jeanette. I'm excited about what we're gonna have, man. Listen, I've got some other people on there. You saw them on the flyer. I've got a better way of showing that to you, and that's with our new intro. So let me get into that. And when the intro is done, we'll have Katie Fawkes on the live with us. So let's go. Okay, Katie, how are you? So good to have you on the live. This is so awesome. So awesome. So awesome.
So much fun.
Good.
I've been on a bunch of lives lately. I've been lucky enough that for some reason people just keep asking me to show up. But I will say, I think that you are the most organized, well-planned broadcast that I have been on in a long while, if not ever. You had a checklist. You had reminders. I felt prepared and ready to go, which is great for today. Which is great.
Man, listen, and we're gonna dive into some of those points in just a second, man. But I want to just take a second right here for all the people that are watching, all 19 of you who are watching. Listen, How It All Works family. Let's give a HIAW welcome to Katie Fawkes. Let's see those hands in the chat. Let's see some fire. Let's see some emojis. Come on, greet her with a smile. This is amazing to have her on. For those that don't know, if you've been, whatever rock you've been hiding under, she is the marketing director for Ecamm. Ecamm is the platform that we use for our live show. What you're seeing on screen right now, I get this question almost every week. What are you using to broadcast right now? We're using Ecamm. Everything you see right here is all Ecamm. All Ecamm. And so Katie, I just want you to see some of these comments that are coming up here. The love is very, very real. The love is so real. Aloha boss is what Doc is saying. I love that. My wife is saying welcome, Katie. We got Saba here. Digital Glow, Tawana Harris. Listen, this is great. Thank you for making sure that she is welcome. She's welcome. And listen, you're welcome back anytime. James Bush says, hi, Katie. You're welcome back anytime. Man, listen, I wanna just while you're getting ready to share a little bit about yourself, because our first question, and that's the question for pretty much everybody. That's everybody's first question here on the show is this one, if I can get my
wait for it.
What did I do? Okay, there we go. My first question is, tell the people a little bit about yourself, who you are, and your relationship to live streaming. A little bit about yourself, who you are, and your relationship to live streaming. Talk to us a little bit.
Hey, I'm Katie Fawkes. I'm the director of marketing at Ecamm, as Kirk said. I am originally from Canada, so I'm a Canadian citizen hiding out here in the US.
Canadian, that's what's up.
I'm a Canadian, that's what's up. I am a backyard chicken keeper, mom of 2, and a little bit. What else can I tell you about myself? I'm having a blast, you guys. I'm having so much fun getting to know just an absolutely fantastic community of content creators and live streamers who are just blowing me away with everything that they're able to create using Ecamm Live. So my relationship to live streaming, I think I said this on a ton of different places, but if you had asked me even 2.5 years ago, right before I started, they were like, Katie, how about we go live today? I would have been like, I'm good. I'll send you an email and we can talk, back and forth. Even being on the phone freaks me out. I just don't overly, something about the anxiety of saying the wrong thing or catching someone at a bad time. I'm just a dreadful, right? I'm a dreadful overthinker. And so, but I always knew the value in live streaming was there. And, it certainly preached a ton about the power of video and being able to connect with people and really build community. So I went in kicking and screaming. I knew that the value was there, and I just got by with a ton of help from a lot of friends who were there to encourage me and, help me get up and running and show me what was possible. And I'm now having a blast with it. It's so much fun to be able to learn from other people and engage and ask questions and share some insights. So just really blessed and thrilled to be here.
Man, you're already sharing a ton. Yes, several people are saying what's up. You're already sharing a ton right at the outset. I mean, the impact and the efficacy of live video, particularly, but especially live video, is just it's something that businesses of every size and shape are going to have to figure out how they can leverage. And Ecamm is one of those tools in your toolbox that is just so phenomenal. We're gonna show something a little later in the show in terms of another way that you can use Ecamm to create shorts.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
we want to get to our second question. And listen, this is what it is. It's a conversation, and then we will talk about how we can collaborate. So the second question
Yeah.
is, you kind of mentioned it already. Talk to us why it's so important to plan out your live show, right? Somebody's in the comments saying, what is a run of show, or what is a run sheet? Like, what do you mean by being organized? What did you experience? Talk to us a little bit about that process, and talk to us about why it's important, and then kind of help us define what those things are.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I just said, I was absolutely terrified by the entire idea of video creation, certainly of live streaming. There just seemed to be so many different points of potential failure, or, looking like an idiot, or whatever else I had in the back of my mind, right? So I'm a planner. The best way around that is to really have a set plan and to know what kind of content you want to bring out. And I think traditionally, I had always done that through keynote presentations or PowerPoint presentations, or putting together a blog post, or thinking through what that content was and being able to line it all up in an outline that made sense. So for me, I think that the most important part of getting started in live streaming is actually turning off the computer, walking away from all of the technology, and sitting with a whiteboard or a pen and paper, or a friend that you can talk to face to face, which is maybe a little harder these days, but really thinking through what is the content that you want to bring. So, and this doesn't matter if you are a professional, video content creator, or a course coach, or you're a teacher, or you're a magician, or you're a musician, or everything in between. You have content that you want to bring out and share with people that ideally is going to help someone on the other side. And so being able to think through how you want to get that content out there, what are the main points that you want to hit, line those up, sketch those out. That is your run to show and your run sheet. And once you have that drawn out, written out, sketched out, however you have it, somewhere away from your computer so you don't get distracted or overwhelmed, start there, and then take that into the software, because tools like Ecamm Live are going to help you to be able to build out that content, keep you organized, keep you on track, help you flow through it. But you have to start by thinking through what is the content that you want to bring. Trust me, there's nothing scarier than going out there and winging it. You really need to know what it is that you want to say.
Yeah.
And
Listen,
and how you want to flow through it, right? So
yeah, absolutely, man. I do remote live production for a number of clients. I had several this weekend that just kept me ridiculously busy. But one of the things I'm always saying to clients, is help me visualize what you want the look and feel to be, right? So sometimes they'll give me like a program, right, which is not a run sheet, right? They'll give me a program, and it'll give me a general, it'll give me a general, like, okay, this person is doing this person is doing this, and so then I ask them questions like, so how do you want to get from this person doing this to this person doing that? What do you mean? Wouldn't you just kind of put them up there? Because a lot of them are just so used to the Zoom scenario where it's like, everybody's watching the mouse move around everybody's there's nothing that's hidden. It's not produced. One of the things I keep on saying to folks, a production means that you are watching the end product of somebody's hard work and energy and effort that has gone into creating this space. And so that's what a run sheet really enables you to do on paper or in a spreadsheet or whatever way you decide to put that together. You have this run of show, and then you need to start to visualize, how am I going to do that? One of the things that I started doing even before I was using Ecamm was using little small videos as scene changes, so that I didn't have to shift things around in front of the entire audience. You've got to think through what you want your flow and feel for your program to be, and how you can do little hacks to hide from people the mechanics of what's happening behind the scenes. So I just want to add that in there. It's so good. Your earrings are trending, by the way. I just wanted to say your earrings are trending.
I love it. I couldn't agree more with that. And I think too that that if you can get in the habit of doing this, of really thinking through what your content is, and especially if you're someone that has, or is working towards a regular show, so you'll have the same format every single week, it's going to save you so much time and really help you be able to think through not just how to be successful while you're live, which it absolutely will help you do, but also be successful long-term as you're thinking about how you're going to be repurposing that content, how you're going to be using it down the road. You know, what the power of live is in this engaging conversation in the moment, the people that are here watching and hanging out with us, but you're creating amazing video while you're at it. So don't leave that sitting on the table.
Absolutely.
Think through how your workflow is going to help you make that content work for you down the road in an entire repurposing flow, and thinking about your workflow and how it's flowing out and coming out as video is just really important to that kind of long-term strategy of how you're going to get your content out there.
I want to take this one comment from Doc, and I think that this is critical. So he says, I tend not to hide them. I see them as a moment to teach people how, but I am actively teaching streamers. And I think that last piece is what's critical. He knows what his end goal is. His end goal is actually to teach live streamers. And so he sees those as opportunities to be able to kind of go behind the scenes and show them. And so his goal for his program is exactly that. But you need to know, and I think this is what the secret sauce behind any run sheet is, what exactly do you want that end goal to be? What do you want people to walk away with? You know, what was that experience supposed to be like? And when you find that, then you can kind of work your way backwards in terms of how you're going to design your show. Man, that's so good. Thank you so much. I love the comments that we've got coming through, man. I love the comments we got coming through. I want to get to this. Do we have a second question? No, actually, we have an audience question. We got an audience question.
Audience question. Woo, love it.
Audience question. So let's get this audience question out here while we chat up a couple other things. If you have a live show, right? Just tell us in terms of minutes or hours. If you've got a live show, you do a live show regularly, you've got a podcast, you've got a video podcast, you've got a web show, something that you do regularly. How much time are you putting into pre-planning? What's that look like? If you got an hour-long live show, what are you putting into pre-planning? So while they're getting that, because I know they're a little delayed, so they'll see that in a second. But let's just talk, me and you. How I know for me, it's a significant number. Grabbing video clips.
It depends on what it is. So if I'm doing like a live talk for a conference or like a larger event, it's probably, hours. It's thinking through like what the graphics are, the feel of it, all of the different elements that go into that in addition to my workflow. But if it's a regular show, so I'm doing it on a weekly basis, I probably have like my workflow is the same for those, right? It's my countdown timer, my intro, welcome everyone. It's that I'm bringing on a guest. It's my flow of questions. It's the same general format. It's probably the same graphic. So that's going to save me a bunch of time because those are all saved in Ecamm. So, maybe it's like 40 minutes to think through questions and kind of, in a back and forth with my guest, depending on how familiar I am with them and their background. So it's going to save a little bit of time on that. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it is, there's a template, right? Because it's generally speaking, it's the same, right? I'm plugging in a new guest, I'm plugging in new questions. I may have different graphics that I need to highlight, different things that we've got coming up on the channel. HowItAllWorks.com, I need to plug that. BuyMeACoffee.com, I need to plug that. Join our mailing list. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I need to plug that. So those are, I want to make, and even those are kind of standard. But in terms of guest prep, I do a lot of time in guest prep. I do a lot of time in putting together the outline. I want to get a headshot from them. I want to make sure I have a quote from them. I want to make sure, different things that I know will help me to not only make the experience one that is memorable for them, one that they are enjoy and will come back, but also where it's a win-win. I want to make sure I don't pay my guests. So I want to make sure that I set up a scenario where they may actually get some business. We did a show on online courses and had two guys on who have been doing the Kajabi thing and Thinkific thing for a very long time, and they actually help people do that. And then one guy called me back a couple weeks after the show. He said, "Man, I booked 5 appointments from your show," and he said, "I just want to thank you." And that's the kind of scenario you want to create. And it wasn't a lot of people watching live, but you just need 1 or 2, right? Somebody who's like, I've been thinking about this thing for a very long time, and here's a guy who can help me get it set up. I'm going to make an appointment, right? And those are kinds of scenarios that I like to try and set up, and it doesn't happen without planning. Does not happen without planning. So I know that I'm looking at the comments here just to see, but people aren't really necessarily answering the question. But I'd like what Pola Kai USA is saying, what kind of integrations can we use with Ecamm Live in terms of donation alerts, Patreons? We're going to dive into that in a little bit, but Buy Me a Coffee has its own widget integration that you can put in. I don't think that Patreon has a widget, period. Not so much that it doesn't integrate with Ecamm, it's just that it doesn't necessarily have a widget. But there are different things that you can do with Streamlabs and Stream Elements that, when people subscribe, when people do different things, you can set up an automation. So those are some really pretty cool things that you can do that are out there as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to show a quick video, and when we get out of that video, we're gonna show what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to show the Ecamm website, and we're going to highlight a couple of different things there before we get into some of our other questions with Katie. So this is a quick video on Ecamm Shorts that we want to play for you right now.
Even though it is widely known as a live streaming program, Ecamm is actually a really powerful production studio for your pre-recorded content. Not everybody is ready to go live or even wants to go live. So recording your content within Ecamm is not only a great way to practice before going live, if that's your goal, but it's also a great way to produce content in advance. Like, you're going on vacation, you're not going to be there, you can make a video in advance. This can streamline your editing process so much. You set up your scenes, you bring in your graphics, you can even add music. Now film it as if it is live, but don't go live. You're gonna select record. You can even pre-record with a guest using interview mode if you've got someone that for some reason isn't comfortable doing a live interview. Once you are done, you will have a video file that you can edit down, cut up, do whatever it is you're gonna do to it, but hopefully, if all went well, most of the work will have already been done for you. Please give it a try, and if you do, let me know how it goes in the comments.
That's a short. That is a short video that Ecamm partnered with Instagram influencer. What's her name again? I forgot.
Her name, so shout out to Mary Lou Mandel. She is fantastic. She has the most fun, engaging, like crazy awesome Instagram channel. So if you're an Instagram person or you just love to scroll through, definitely run on over and follow her.
Follow her, yes.
I'll put a note in the comments. But she's been just doing really short, great content for us. It just shows off all of the different things that you can use Ecamm Live for. And, and vertical video is one of them. You can create recorded videos.
That's right.
Vertical video, right? Whether it's record only or even live streaming. So yeah, it's definitely something to consider, all the different options that you have out there, depending on what platform is your favorite or the space that you want to be in. So certainly something to check out.
So confession for all the watchers, every YouTube video that I have on my channel was recorded with Ecamm. Every single one. So if you've ever wondered, like, well, I wonder what he's using to do that. How's he doing that picture in picture? What scene is that? I'm using Ecamm to record all of them. So definitely Ecamm is not just a live stream, it's a full production tool. You can record your stuff, throw it on the timeline, chop it up, make your edits, color correct, whatever you want to do. I really enjoy this tool, man. So one of the things I wanted to show real quick here, even as we get to the middle of our show, kind of, sort of, is the ecamm.com website. A lot of people don't, if you haven't been to the ecamm.com website, you may have been missing some things. So first of all, here we go. Eyeglasses and phone view. I'm not even going to say anything there. I'm just going to let you feast your eyes.
We have other apps, as it turns out, you guys. You may not be aware.
It's not just Ecamm, right? There's Ecamm Live is this platform, but they've got other stuff as well, and you might want to take a look. There's some really pretty cool stuff going on there. And then the stay in the know. People often ask me, like, how do you keep up? Like, are you in like some VIP list for Ecamm or something? I'm like, no, I just signed up for the newsletter, and so I'm informed that way. But I'm hoping to get into Doc's little group there that gets pre-release stuff, which is pretty cool too. But yeah, no, definitely head over to the ecamm.com webpage, check out their newsletter. And then look at this social piece. I just thought this was so much fun. I mean, this is right on their main webpage, all the different social things. And look at this one. This one here on the side, it has this really cool logo.
This one here.
Yeah, that one right next to that. This guest is absolutely amazing. And it says here, what does it say? Come join me and Kirk Nugent tomorrow. Oh man, this is amazing. I just really like this page. I can call my mom and tell her I made it on the Ecamm website. So
You did. You made it on the Ecamm website. And you know what? Special note to anyone that thinks that this is really cool. It's actually a tool called curator.io, and they have free levels as well as paid plans. So it makes it really easy to pull. It's one of the few tools that we were able to find that actually pulls video as well as just images. So it pulls by hashtag or from an account that you sync up to it. So yeah, really fun little additional thing that you can add to your website to just give a little bit more engagement and show people what's going on in your community. So it's been fun seeing and watching everything come through.
Man, look at I got a super chat from Doc. I get pre-release stuff because I work there. I'm laughing. I'm laughing because he's hilarious. I'm also laughing because I haven't been called Nugget for so long. That used to be a really common name for me. But thank you so much, Doc, for the super chat. So much appreciated. I'm just appreciative of Doc and all the work that he does, that you Katie, and the whole team of Ecamm does there. So definitely, folks, go and check it out. Check out their stuff. I want to just really quickly run over to this page here, which is buymeacoffee.com/Kirk R. Nugent. You've been seeing scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Just zoom out a little bit. Don't focus so hard on what you're paying attention to. But we are going to have a little after party, half-hour Q&A session with Katie and myself on Zoom. If you want to jump into that, grab your tickets on buymeacoffee.com/Kirk R. Nugent. We would love to have you. But that said, we want to get back to our questions because, listen, Katie came with value to add for us, and so this is our third question. How can we put the pre-show prep and the run sheet into practice in Ecamm Live? Right. So now I've put together my run sheet, or I've done some pre-planning for my show. Now I'm sitting down at the computer. I've got Ecamm Live open. How do I translate what I've written down and what I've thought in my head into a workable, functional production in Ecamm? Well, how would we do that? How would we do that?
Scenes, Kirk. You're going to want to use what's called scenes within Ecamm. It's kind of a hidden feature. I feel like people look at it, they're like, I don't really know what a scene is. I don't really know how to set those up. Your scenes are how you are going to flow through your content. So an example of a scene is a countdown timer. Yeah. An example of a scene is just you on screen talking to your audience. An example of a scene is the one we see right here, where I'm a little bit bigger. We have Kirk over on the side. You need to start visualizing how you want your content to get out there and what kinds of graphics you're going to want to put around it and how the content is going to flow through. So think that through, take notes on what other videos you may have seen out there and what you might want to be able to pull into your show. But your scenes are how you're going to move from one thing to the next in the world of content. And the overlays in Ecamm are what you're going to build on top or lay on top of those scenes to bring it to life. So your overlays are your graphics all around here, the awesome little scrolling ticker that's going across the bottom, the logo up at the top, right? So all of this stuff is our overlays and graphics that you are building on top of a scene. And so if you build it all out in advance, when you hit the go live button or the record button, or you're getting going with whatever you're doing, you literally just have to click next as you flow through. And if you've thought it through in advance, all of the visuals that you're adding into your production are all visual cues and reminders of what you need to be talking about next. So if you're looking at your scenes in Ecamm Live and you're clicking from one to the next, right? Perfect. I label mine stupid obvious. I'm like, this is just me intro. This is just me and guest. This is the reminder about the giveaway. This is,
absolutely.
And so you're not going to miss any of the content that you've outlined and put onto your sketch and your plan for the show, because you have all those visual reminders and you've put them into scenes. You have to flow through them. You're literally going from one to the next. So
wow,
it starts with scenes, and it goes quickly then into what are the overlays and the graphics that you're going to build on top of your scenes to bring that production to life. That makes it, more than what it could be if you were just going live with your phone, but you can make it as simple as just having different camera angles, right? So scene 1 is just me, scene 2 is me and a guest, maybe scene 3 is like an overhead camera angle. Like those could all be used for different scenes as well, but helping you get through the content fast and easily and smoothly so that you're able to focus on the content, on the viewers on the other side.
Yeah. This is James Hicks says, great, easy to digest points. Love the info, Katie. I wanted to do this while she was talking about it. I was like, it's going to be too much of a distraction. I'm going to just jump into live demo mode real quick just to show scenes, right? So here we are, and this is I know it seems like a lot, but this is scenes. This is my scenes window here, and so I have the lines Convo Collab, and so here's blank. Countdown, host overlay, host plus slide, intro, host plus guest call out, Ecamm shorts, that's the video, host plus screen, outro. It can be that simple. And
we're halfway through. Look, you can even visually see how far along we are in the show. Like, it makes it so easy.
It makes it so simple.
All of us are overthinking it.
And then in my overlays, which she talked about as well, you have, some of the different graphics that are on the screen right now. So right now we have the question number 4, and I'm just going to hide that and show it again. You see that there. But then there's question 5. I'm going to put that away because I don't want you guys to see that yet. But you get the point. I mean, essentially, you have all of these different items available to you, and they're per scene, right? So build the scene with overlays attached, and that's as good as it gets. I mean, that's it. I'm realizing that. It doesn't make sense for us to be different sizes since we're in demo mode.
We are equal partners.
Equal partners. But this is. I just want somebody, whoever's out there, you're thinking, how do I translate that into something workable in Ecamm? This is it. This is it. I'm showing you that literally these are directly from my run sheet. The questions that I have here, question 1, 2, audience question 4 and 5, those are all in my run sheet. And I just copy paste them, put them into the system, and we're ready to go. So that pre-planning, that prep gives you the content you need to be able to build out your scenes and know what overlays you want to have as you are running your show. So and then just understanding the flow and feel of your actual platform, whatever that platform is. We hope it's Ecamm, right? But understanding that flow is great. I see Albert's got a question, but I know Katie, I thought you wanted to say something as well, real quick.
I mean, I was just going to say, it lets you practice. I mean, I think that there are other tools out there, and certainly if you're just live streaming with your phone, the only way to practice is going live, which can make it really, really scary. So put that aside for a second, spend some time just flowing through the scenes, hit the record button and make yourself a recording of it so that you can force yourself to listen to it and see where are the points that you may not know it as well. Now that you're looking at it, does it look the way that you want it to look? You can spend as much time as you want without ever having hit the go live button, just making sure that everything looks and feels the way you want. And that's also building up your confidence, because the more times you're flowing through it, you're going to know it inside and out. It's going to feel a lot more comfortable when you do get around to hitting that go live button. So it makes it nice. And you can even plan out, we have placeholders for interview guests. So if you're building out a scene and you're like, okay, I don't want an interview guest there, we got you covered. We just put an interview guest in.
Interview guest there.
The broadcast, you just add them right in, and they add to all your scenes, right? So it makes it really, really easy to spend that time in planning. So please spend the time in planning, because it makes a better production all the way across the board. So it's worth doing.
And then I'm going to go back to demo mode for just one more second. The last thing I'll say here is, if you do, you got to be able to roll with the punches, as they say, right? There's something may happen. You may, I may just decide, to send Doc the link and decide, okay, now I've got to figure out how to get another person in the scene. you've got these two modes here, right? So I can click here to go to preview mode, and this is live. So what you guys would be seeing if I wasn't in demo mode would be this screen, and this is the other screen. So in this, I can actually change this to, a totally different view of me and Katie, right? And this is not live yet. I can adjust it. I can add some different things to the scene. I can put up my other link. Did I get that thing right? Okay, there. And then I can say, okay, now that I've built it the way that I want it, maybe I want to add another thing here, or no. I knew that was going to change something else. Here we go. Let's add this back. You see, this is why you got to do this. You got to do these things live, right? And then this camera is the other camera. It's not the one that I want. I want that camera. Okay, so get that one there. Add Katie back. I'm going to do a picture-in-picture. You could, anything that you want to do, anything that you can think of, honestly, you can do that. Then click publish. And then when you click publish, then it's live. So you can make your changes behind the scenes, hopefully while your guest is talking or you've got something happening, and then you can go live when you're ready. So it's just so much. It's such a versatile platform. There's so many different things that you can do, so many different ways that you can set yourself up for success. So I just wanted to show that real quick. And of course, you're seeing now that I've switched it back, and I'm going to publish that and get out of live demo mode, and we're back, right? So yeah, for those that I saw, let me see if we got this comment here. Albert says this. Here's the comment. Of course, we're still in preview mode, so I've gone back to live. Anyway, his question is: do you review /edit /critique most of your shows post live to better your future shows? I want to see. Yes, I was hoping. I wanted Katie to answer first, but I think Albert already knows my answer to that question. I definitely go back and critique and watch the show, make notes. Yes, and a lot of, I'll tell you this, a lot of those tweaks are not technical. A lot of them are structural, format type tweaks, flow and look and feel. Not really scenes or anything like that. It's mostly like how I'm hosting the show, how I'm hosting my guest, when I'm talking too much, like I'm talking too much now, right? but those are the kinds of things that I will go back and critique, Albert. So that's such a great question, though. I think the only way that you can really improve is by going back and watching tape. The sports guys do it,
Yeah,
baseball,
it's hard. It
basketball.
takes a while to get into that practice, and it definitely. I wouldn't say I do it every single time, depending on how, crazy busy things are or, how I felt about the show. But the times that I do go back and double check and rewatch them, I always learn something new. And I always catch, something that I'm like, oh, okay, next time I can make, a little tweak there, a little change there. And it does make it better. So it's worth watching. It's certainly worth spending the time if you're able to, because it does make for a better broadcast next time.
Absolutely. And that's what you want to do. You want to, progressively, methodically, systematically get better, taking a step in the right direction. David Blackman is on the live. How you doing, man? So good to have you. So good to have you. David Hunt's here. Gary Jones is here. Doc Rock. He says, in radio and TV, we had to watch our old shows. Yep. Yep. I mean, yeah, you have to. I mean, would you post a YouTube video before you watched it? No.
Hope not.
I would hope not. And you probably make some tweaks and some changes. I mean, at some point you do have to post it, but the idea is the same in terms of live video. We did it in football and football too. I like that, Doc. The reference to, American football and everybody else's football. I lived in South Africa for 5 years, so we're very, very, very familiar with the other football. I want to open it up. I want to see if anybody has any questions. I know that it'll take a second for you to get those into us, but if you have questions, by all means, throw them at us. We're willing and ready to answer those for you. I do have one more question for Katie, and then we do have the collab piece. So there's two more things that we need to do, but I wanted to just say that right now as we dive into this final question for Katie. If you have questions for us, you wanted to ask something about a run sheet or planning your live stream or even something specific to Ecamm Live that we may not have covered, please feel free to ask that in the chat right now. We want to take those questions from you. So, but Katie, this question is the one that I always find very interesting, and I always find it provides a lot of value for viewers, because at least for me, the experience has been I generally share solutions from an experience that wasn't necessarily great. so I learned to have a run of show because I had a live stream that literally fell flat on its face, and I had nothing to go to, and I was like, I need to have a plan, right? So, but yeah, from your own experience, can you share some examples of how show pre-planning and its effects from your own experience, right? You know, you've done this. You're marketing director at Ecamm. So yeah, you guys have a long lineup of shows that are just phenomenal, by the way. So what are some of those types of experiences that you've had from going live that have caused you to realize the importance of pre-planning for your show?
every little possible mistake, right? I'm thinking back to when I first joined the team. The team didn't have any marketing people at all, and so they had never done really many live videos outside just like beta group updates and random things that were coming up, information that they had to get out there to the customers. So we started by doing a show called Meet the Pros, which you can absolutely go back and watch if you want to see my first attempts at live streaming.
Oh,
so
lovely.
You can learn along with me. But yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of it comes down to fear over kind of fear just of being live. And so kind of getting used to, you know, what that feeling is going to be like. I definitely have always been really bad at overthinking and worrying about the technology. So like, I never want to look stupid or like I don't understand what's going on. And so for a while there was definitely erring towards the side of like, okay, well, I'll just use like the camera that's built into my computer or the microphone, because I know how those work and I know that they're not going to fail me, versus connecting all these complicated cables and trying to figure out how to get everything all synced up. So I would say a ton of little things along the way that have gone wrong. And certainly as you're working with guests, you know, guests that don't show up, guests that show up but have no idea, you know, what they're supposed to do, even though you've sent them every possible update, you know, terrible internet connections. A million and one little things that have gone wrong along the way. And every single time trying to remind yourself that when you're live, it's okay for things to go wrong. It really comes down to how you're going to react to it. So if you can remain calm, if you can talk someone through, you know, what's going on, or even think out loud as you're troubleshooting, at least in what I'm doing, you know, like Doc, it's more valuable than panicking and just turning off the stream or, you know, or any of the other different options that could come out of that. So trying to keep a cool head and figuring out all the way through. But yeah, I wish I could think of one specific example, but for me, most of it has just been lots of little things that have happened all the way. I mean, cameras that have, you know, I didn't, for a long time, my DSLR camera, which is like my photography camera from, you know, a few years back. It's a great camera, but I just had the battery. And so like I had charged the battery, but live streaming was, you know, eating through. So like totally, you know, the camera completely dies and I'm frozen on some like, you know, awful like, you know, scene of myself. And so, you know, a lot of it, like, again, planning it through, making sure that you have the right equipment, that you've spent the time to test it out so that you're comfortable with it, that you've thought through what your content is going to be so that, you know, you can do things on the fly if a guest doesn't show up. If you get asked questions that you don't 100% know the answer to, if, you know, all of the different things that happen along the way. So the more prepared you are and the more times you've gone through how in your mind you want the content to come out and the show to go, the more comfortable and confident you're going to be if and when things go wrong, because they're going to at some point. So that's being able to respond to it is what matters.
So true. So true. Being able to respond to it. And I think the planning allows you, more solid ground on which to be able to respond to those things that will eventually happen. Right. So it's so good what you've shared. I know for me, for the Vlogmas challenge, 31 days of December, I did 31 live streaming tips on my channel. And there was a whole set of them that was on pre-planning and being prepared and your run of show and your pre-show routine. Eric Thomas, who is a number one motivational speaker in the world right now,
Yep.
was saying that he has a pre-show routine, right? Before he goes on stage, he's got a set of things that he does, some things that he checks off to make sure that those are done. One of which is using the bathroom. This is probably important, but he does I think he does 50 push-ups or something like that. It's a part of his routine. It gets him into a specific space. I can't do 50 straight unbroken, so
That's
maybe
me.
that's
I
not
do
a part of
50
my.
push-ups.
That's
Every
not a
live,
part.
that's what I do.
Maybe that's not a part of my. But whatever it is, I just found the importance of having a cheat code, if you will, right, to get yourself into the space of being in front of an audience, right, being in front of the camera, being able to laugh at your own jokes if you're on camera by yourself, because it encourages people to laugh with you, and just kind of going through some of those things. There's so much non-technical, and that's why I was, it's counterintuitive. Some folks are like, we're gonna have the marketing director from Ecamm live on. We're gonna be talking about Ecamm. Yeah, we're talking about Ecamm, but I'm so glad that you said you wanted to talk about pre-show planning and how you can translate that into your run of show, because it is critically important. That's where you have to start. If you have a concept or idea of what it is you want people to walk away with from your show, like for me, I want people to walk away with live stream best practices and tips, tricks, and advice. So I've got to keep that end goal in mind, and I've got to work towards that and make sure that it even informs who I invite on the show, right? I mean, because if they're not going to work towards that end, then it doesn't really work, So all of those things, that level of detail and level of intentionality is going to really help people to show up as their best self and to put their best foot forward. And yes, despite your best efforts, sometimes guests will come through with the complete wrong things, and you just have to roll with the punches and get going where that's concerned. I've got a couple of things here that I want to I've got a question from Doc that I'm pretty certain is just for you.
Deal.
Can I buy a let me put this question down here. Can I buy a Sony A1 with the company card? It's only $6K. Said he's asking for a friend, by the way, just for a friend. Yeah. That's suspect. Who's his friend? We want to know who this friend is. Top Cat Talent Show says, nice, informative show. Thank you so much, Top Cat. Andrew Gottlieb is asking the question, what are the advantages of Ecamm Live over other platforms like StreamYard and Restream? I'll let you take the first stab at this one. I think this is a cool question, though, one that I get often.
We get this question a lot at the time. So I will actually say that Restream, I wouldn't consider them overly competitive to us. We have a ton of our customers who use both Restream and Ecamm. In fact, Kirk is using Restream right now.
Right.
Yeah, right. So we have a full integration with them. Restream is really fantastic at being able to let you take your video content and put it just about anywhere. They have connections with like every single possible streaming platform or channel out there. So if you're trying to get your content out there across the board, then absolutely Restream makes a ton of sense. Where Ecamm really, really shines is in its versatility and in its customization. So if you are looking to be able to connect, multiple cameras, you want to increase your video quality, maybe all you're doing is going into Zoom calls. Maybe you're a professional and you're trying to, a lawyer. Maybe you're a lawyer and you're trying to be able to, give legal depositions right now, and the world is shut down. Ecamm
my goodness.
Ecamm can let you take a better quality camera, be able to add your logo and maybe your email address or phone number, whatever information that you need to get out there, and pull that right through into a Zoom call so that you're looking more professional. People can see you clearer. It's instant credibility, right? To be able to give that. And none of our competitors that are out there are able to do that in the same way that Ecamm does. And again, because we're a desktop app, so we are downloaded onto your Mac computer. We're also, able to help you create videos all the way up to 4K level quality. You can save them. You don't have to worry about downloading it later or quality reductions or downloads running out of time. You create the content, you own the content, you use it however you want to use it. We're just there to help it look as good as possible. So if you can think it, you can create it in Ecamm Live. And I think that gives us an edge over a lot of the other live streaming tools out there. We're not trying to help you just go live. We want you to make the best possible videos.
Yeah. There's a whole other conversation happening in the comments with David Hunt, Albert, and Doc. I'm not going to touch that one.
Let me answer the question.
Yeah, let me answer, which is really cool. I love the way the community is just kind of, rallying around one another. But I wanted to respond to Andrew Gottlieb as well, because I get this question a lot, and I love the way Katie has framed it in terms of answering the question. But I think it was Luria Petrucci that I first heard this from these terms. But there are different tiers of live streaming platforms. Tier
levels.
1 being your phone, right? Just go live with your phone. It's just, there's nothing between you and that live platform. It's just your device, your camera, you're holding it, or you have it on a tripod, and you're live to, let's say, Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So that's tier 1. Tier 2 is where you have an interface in between, and usually tier 2s are web-based. So your Restreams, your Melon apps, your StreamYards, those are your tier 2 platforms. They are streaming to a destination or multiple, and you're web-based, and it is grabbing your camera, but it sits between you and that platform. And then you've got tier 3. Tier 3 is definitely a more broadcast/production tool. It is installed, not web-based. Has its own built-in encoder, so you don't have to have the external. For those that remember what it was like to have the external encoder from back in the day. But yeah, Ecamm, I would say the best examples of tier 3 is Ecamm and vMix. Those are the best examples. I would not even compare Ecamm to StreamYard and Restream, because they're just not in the same tier. The functionality that you get out of an Ecamm is leaps and bounds ahead of what you're going to get from any of the web-based applications that are out there. So that's what I would like. That's how I framed that. I love the way Katie answered it as well. But I just wanted to add that other piece, and I think hopefully we've answered your question there. Loving the interaction in the comments from the different people that are there. And I see Gary Jones is saying Ecamm has changed my life professionally, and I know him personally. He
awesome,
is
Gary.
Yeah, he's a professor. He's a social work professor at an educational institution, and he has just been using that thing to the nth degree, which is so amazing. We got another question here before we start to figure out. This is going to probably be our last one before we talk about what our collab's going to be, Katie. So this is our last one. Do you think the animated overlays look better, or the stills look you're using today? What are the pros and cons of using animated versus stills overlays? Great. She says, great show, by the way. Okay. Appreciate that. Blessings by G Beats. Appreciate that question. Yeah, I think it's personal preference. What do you think, Katie? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. Definitely it's personal preference. And I think it also fits into what the tone and the vibe and the content is of your show. So,
that's very true. Very true.
We have a couple of shows that are certainly on our platform where that level of like movement is really important and like really fits into the content and the reason for the show, right? So that's important to think through. The thing that you're going to really want to consider, though, which we've been on just like a mission to let people know about over the last couple of months, is that if you are the kind of person that, a lot of animations, a lot of video, you're really bringing in like a lot of cool widgets, like really creating these kinds of productions that have a lot of those files in them, you're really going to want to make sure that you're on a newer, more powerful computer. So please do not try to do that on a MacBook Air or your MacBook from 5 years ago that you swore you just bought, because it goes by like that. Yeah. But, a newer, more powerful computer is really going to give you the ability to let all of those animations shine. So in some cases, it may just be that you're not quite there yet to make that level of investment, or it doesn't really make sense for your business. Like, if really what we're having is like a very detailed conversation. The focus is on the content that we're bringing, then not distracting it with a lot of movement around us is probably going to be a better fit for this kind of content. So you got to think it through.
The only thing, great, absolutely phenomenal answer. And I think that the part about understanding your gear, recognizing that, Ecamm is a tier 3, so it is installed. It's not in the cloud. So it's going to use the horsepower that you give it from your machine. And if you don't have it to give, it's not going to work. So I think that part is so critical. And I hope that, folks are hearing that part and they're taking it to heart, right? But the other piece I wanted to say is that there's a huge marketing and design component when it comes on to, setting up your scenes and setting up your live stream. So yes, there's, the animated things are cool. But a lot of the times people don't get a chance to really control those and design them the way that they can, unless they, have that experience or that background, or they pay to get it done. So then those things become off brand, right? So they're not like one of my brand colors is purple. Can you tell? Mm-hmm. So if you haven't, if I can't get something that's on brand, that's purple, then I'm really going to probably shy away from it. So the way you set up your scene, the way you design your live stream it's going to have so many different components and factors that are in there. And yeah, you want to make sure that it's on brand. It's going to tell the story. It's people see it and visibly say, hey, that's how it all works. Or, hey, that's Ecamm, or hey, that's the stream show, or whatever it is, right? Because it's on brand. And I think if movement and animated overlays are part of your brand, then absolutely, by all means, go for it. It's just not something that's been on brand for me. So Albert, I see your question, man. Dave, he says, can a scene in Ecamm be too busy for your audience? And I think that's what we're getting at. I think Doc said it best a second ago. Actually, he says animations are good pattern interrupts, but get out of hand very fast. So yeah, I think there is definitely, you don't want people to be dizzy. you want them to be able to take advantage of the content and pay attention to what's happening on screen. So listen, I want to get this.
Reading a bunch of stuff, they're not listening to you, right?
So definitely
you gotta pay attention to that.
I want to throw this last one up here, and I'm posing this to the folks in the comments, as well as I'm posing it to Katie. What collab video could we work together and then cross post on YouTube? Well, maybe not cross post, but we could co-produce. Let's say co-produce, right? Yeah, let's co-produce. Katie, what are you thinking, man? I don't know. Maybe Runsheets. I don't know.
Maybe Runsheets. Yeah. I'm thinking it's a workflow. And honestly, like as I was thinking through like I said, the top of the show, you have one of the best interview checklist sheets that I've seen in a long time. I think it'd be really cool to talk through workflows and scenes, and also like what resources do you need coming out of that, and have some cool like samples or templates that we could share with people.
Something they could download. Right? Oh yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, that's definitely. I don't see anyone that has said anything. Somebody's asking about standard plan and pro plan. I'm on the pro plan. Ecamm Live Pro. Yeah, I'm on the pro plan. Yeah, I've got I'm on the pro plan for sure. But
you're using interview, so you got the pro plan.
Definitely, that's it. And virtual camera and everything else. Right. But I think that's so good. I would absolutely love that. I think putting together that template and making that downloadable and having that video available for on either my channel or the Ecamm channel, that'd be phenomenal. I love that. 100%. So that's gold. And Albert's saying, talk about putting your guest on the spot. Absolutely.
No, I was prepared. Like I said, we had the amazing checklist that we went through before we jumped on. So
and Steve Worthy is saying right now in the comments, how can I get my, that check sheet, Kirk? And so this is perfect. This is perfect. We can definitely. Coming your way. That's it. We'll Katie and I will work on this video, and then we'll put that out, and we'll make the check sheet downloadable on that video wherever it lives. And so stay tuned to the channel. Stay tuned to how it all works, and we will make sure to follow up on that. Katie, any last words? Anything that you want to plug? Anything you want to say about Ecamm? Anything projects that you guys have coming up? Things that you want people to know before we close it out today?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't tried Ecamm Live yet, or you're sitting there and you're currently on a PC, we'd still love to hang out with you. So come hang out in our Ecamm Live community. We have a great group
Nice.
on Facebook.
Yes.
Doc's done an absolutely amazing job. Even if you never ever switch over to Ecamm, come and see what people are creating, what people are putting together. It's going to help give you ideas and make you a better creator. We would love to hang out with you. Ask all your questions, come get to know us a little bit better. Version 3.8 just launched, which Kirk mentioned earlier. So we have a lot of cool new features that are in the app. You can always try it for free, and let us know what you think. And what else? Oh, we have a bunch of amazing YouTube projects that we're in the middle of releasing. So we've had a really packed live show schedule, which we still absolutely love and support. But we don't have a lot of short content, so we've really been putting a lot of effort into that. So you'll look to see more videos coming from Mary Lou, who is doing an amazing job with those, just kind of quick hits. Doc's going to be doing some amazing Feature Friday highlights to kind of top level what's in Ecamm Live and how to unpack it, and a lot of other really fun projects along the way. So yeah, definitely keep tabs on us in the community and on our YouTube channel. We are hoping to provide tons and tons of value to all of you, and look for our awesome new collab with Kirk, because I'm really excited to dive into this. It's content I've been wanting to do for a while. So
listen, look out for that. Absolutely look out for that. I see in the comments Tawana Harris is saying, I'm going to take you up on that offer, Katie, the invite to join the Ecamm community. And Doc Rock is saying demos are on Friday. And he says, here's the warning. If you watch me work, you will switch. And now I have to be honest with you. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all on that. He's not wrong at all on that. I want to switch to my scene here, man. If you want to get a quick Q&A with me and Katie right after we go offline here, go over to buymeacoffee.com/KirkRNugent. We're about to start the Zoom room in just a second, and come hang out with us. Come hang out with us. Another thing I want to show is our monthly updates. If you haven't signed up for the mailing list or signed up for our newsletter, which is scrolling at the bottom of the screen right now, signup.howitallworks.com.
Sign up.
You want to look, this was the monthly update from last week, right? We spoke at live and in color, our latest feature, latest video on the channel, critical updates in Canva. I saw your comment. Somebody said, Kirk, I've been watching your stuff. Your designs are amazing. Thank you so much. And they want me to produce more content around how I create those. I will definitely be taking that to heart. Convos and Collabs. This is the show page. Of course, you see Katie's here. We made good on that promise. Ecamm version 3.8. This actually takes you to the release. Just a lot of information that we try to put out in our newsletter. We think that it's something that will be beneficial to you. So definitely go over to signup.howitallworks.com and check that out. These are the new bracelets. I have one on right now that we have in our merch shop, How It All Works. howitallworks.com/shop. So you want to go and check that out as well. Get your t-shirt. I've got one on. You saw the mug during the countdown clock. Definitely any way that you can join with us, support us, jump into the community, join in membership on Buy Me a Coffee, or just subscribe and share the videos and allow us all to grow together. That's what we're all about here. And I just want to say a word of thanks to Katie for being here today, for being my guest, and for answering, just providing so much value to all the people that are watching, and for those that will catch the replay. For my replay squad, I see you, I hear you. Leave the comments down below. I respond to all comments. Every single comment gets a response from me. Even if it's just thanks, I respond to comments. So my replay squad, make sure you leave a comment there. Katie, again, thank you so much. All right. So as we close it out, you know what's going to happen next week. We've got Desiree Martinez on the joint, and it's going to be fun. We're going to be talking about leveling up your live stream. We're going to be talking about other things as well. Check her out in advance, some of the things that she does. Check out her channel. She's a creator. She's a streamer as well. Excited to have her on, talking about different perspectives, different things that she does as well. We're so excited that we had Katie today. Be on the lookout for that collab video from the two of us, which we're going to go over, the run sheet, the run of show planning, different things like that. I'm excited about all that we were able to do and all that we are on the verge of doing in this space called How It All Works. Listen, we hope that somewhere in the video today you were able to have that aha moment. You were able to see that light bulb go on. You're able to fit some of those puzzle pieces together. Essentially what we're saying is we're hoping that you're able to figure out how it all works. Excited that you were here with us. We hope that you've already subscribed, but if you haven't, take a moment right now to do so. Hit that like button and hit the notification as well, because we got content that comes out every week, several live shows, Wednesdays, the midweek huddle, Friday night, virtual cafe, Mondays, convos and collabs. So definitely join the community, join the movement. We want you to be here. And I will see you, I promise, in the next video. Later.